This video will look at stripping and terminating flex. We have to determine first which end we'll put the male plug and female socket on. The ends of flex are different from each other and they're the exact opposite of each other. So the male plug is only designed to go on one end of the flex and the female plug is designed to go on the other end. This picture shows the difference on the ends here. The phase is on one side at one end and it's on the opposite side at the other end. Looking at the pins on the socket, we can determine which end the flex should go to that, and look at the pins on the male plug, we should be able to determine the end for that. Then we line them up and ensure that we put the right. When we strip flex and cable, we try and strip it like a banana. The reason we strip it like a banana is that we don't cut any of the primary insulation away from the cables. This happens a lot when we use knives and things to cut, or use our cutters to trim the insulation away, and when we're cutting inwards we can nick the primary insulation. If that's done, we have to start again. We can't have any copper showing or any damage to the primary insulation. Now we have to prepare and strip the cores of the flex. When we're trimming these, it's really important that our earth conductor is always the longest. The reason for that is that it's going to be the last out if the conductor's ever pulled on and the conductors pull away from the terminals. Twist them all up, trim them to length, and it's really important that we double them up whenever possible. Sometimes our conductors are too big to get into the terminals doubled up, but the majority of the time they can be doubled over and should be doubled over. By doubling them over, when we put them under the terminal screw, we'll get a lot better connection. All the terminals are labelled in the plastic on the top there to make sure we get them in the right spot. Back all the screws off before you start using it. Slide the end of the conductor in and make sure you do it up really tight. Always give the conductors a good pull at the end to make sure they're in there nice and tight, they're not going to come out. Lastly is the clamp for the flex. The clamps, once we open up, is designed to go around the secondary insulation, so it's really important it's around the outer insulation on the flex, and then it's done up tight. This will take all the load away from the terminal, so anyone pulling on the flex, the load will be taken through the clamp into the body of the plug, rather than the load be pulling on the terminals securing the conductors. Plug shell on last, put the cover on, slide that over. There is a little key in the cover and the plug top itself. This means that the cover will only go over in one position, so we spin it around until it lines up with the key and we push it back down and in. And lastly, we just got to secure it with the 2 screws. Give it one last visual check, give it a hard pull, make sure all's okay, and now it must be tested and tagged if it's alright.